Pedals, the never-ending search for the great pedals. I'm going to take you through my pedal board right now, and basically my pedals are pretty much set up very simple. I use some effects loops, but generally they're all in line with each other. I'm going to start with the Leslie pedal. The Leslie pedal kind of does what it's supposed to, you know. I like the Korg G4. I think it has the best, truest Leslie sound, and it kind of does this thing here. Leslie pedal works great. They don't make them anymore. They should. Moving on to our delay, the Boss DD3. The DD3 is by far my favorite, and basically my concept is all the dials are set at 12 o'clock, and that's the sound of these boxes. The Leslie pedal and the delay run through the effects loop of the Marshall, because I prefer the really clean, signal path when it comes to delays and Leslie's. I think it sounds truer and it's more articulate. But the delay sounds kind of as follows. It's really nice, warm, almost analog kind of sounding. And the time that I have it set is kind of just a general time. It's not too long, it's not too short. It just kind of works for everything that I'm doing. The next pedal we're going to talk about is the Carl Martin Hot Drive and Boost. It's one of my favorite boosts. The boost to me is better than just a simple overdrive, because it just takes the sound that you have already and just boosts the gain a little bit. So I use it for kind of soloing stuff. We'll hit this amp and I just kind of hit the boost side of it, and it just kind of does its thing. It has a really, nice, open, transparent, boost sound that I think works really well for a Stratocaster and even a Telecaster. And I only use it very sparingly too. The next pedal that we're going to talk about is the Reverend Drivetrain 2, which I've come to know in the last year. And what I can best describe it as a controllable tube screamer. It has a bass and a treble knob as opposed to a tone knob, and it kind of has this characteristics of a tube screamer. It kind of sounds like this. It works great with Fender amps. For some of those power rhythm chords, and has a really kind of nice high-endy quality to it, almost like a Vox AC30. Really good pedal. The next pedal we're going to talk about is the Prescription Electronics Vibe Unit. It's basically what it is. It's a Univibe copy, and it works well. I combine it a lot with the Octavia, which I'll show you in a second, but this kind of does that Robin Trower, Hendrixy thing. And it really just, does that chorus vibrato thing, really nice, and it's really warm and accurate to the original Univibes. The next pedal I'm going to show you is the one I get a lot of use out of, is my tremolo. It's a flip tube tremolo, and it has a really cool sound to it. Right now it's set for slow speed, and it kind of gives a texture to any sound, even like a dirty sound like this. I think it just adds a little bit of texture and a little bit of soul, as I like to say, to the sound. Also, I'm actually going to go down and change the settings here. It also does this thing really good. Which can best be described as emulating the sound of the original Ampeg Reverbo rockets. The tremolo, you go all the way to the right and you click the button, and it really works cool. Very usable pedal. One of my favorite tremolos that's ever been built, and I really, really do enjoy using that one. Now let's go to the Octafuzz by Fulltone. Excellent pedal. I've used it for many years, and I really do enjoy using this kind of pedal because it really does create that nice high octave, Hendrixy, Band of Gypsies kind of sound. What I use is I just turn both the volume and the boost up to 10. I put the vibe unit on, and I just kind of go from there. And I find the best results with these two is if you use like the front pickup with the volume kind of halfway up and picking close to the neck. I think it really does a really nice high octave thing. So I'll show you. Like I said, instant Band of Gypsies, Jimi Hendrix. On to the next, the TC chorus pedal. I think everybody has a TC chorus pedal. I love them, and I'll tell you exactly why. The reason why these pedals work great for me is because I don't like a lot of chorus. I just like a subtle chorus, and it just kind of boosts the bottom end, and it kind of tightens everything up. The TC does that, and it's very subtle, but you really hear the difference if you're not using it. So I've been using that for a long time, and it never comes out of my pedal board. Now we have just a stock Vox V846 wah-wah pedal. I prefer the non-true bypass. I prefer the old style switches. I like the little bit of high-end, loss that having the old style switch gives you. So I'll demonstrate this a little bit. There's a few wah techniques too we can talk about. Now, the thing is with the wah-wah pedal, you don't want to overuse it. You don't want to like live and play every solo, with the wah-wah. And it's also important to like back off on it too to create that really human voice quality that it's known for. You don't want to like be all high-end or all low-end. You want to kind of be somewhere in the middle and just kind of work from there. Really cool pedal, sounds good, just a standard wah-wah pedal, nothing special, but it does the job and everybody's got one. Now, we're going to skip over the amp switcher for now, but we're going to go to the Line 6. The Line 6 is basically, I use for that swell kind of string effect. It kind of goes like this. I had a song on an album that was like, I think, 4 albums ago. It was called Pain and Sorrow, and our intro was similar to this. It just creates a very interesting, almost kind of a string-like effect. And I love that box, and it's really kind of you have to really be careful how you set it because, a little bit to the left or the right on the feedback, you kind of lose that effect. But that's pretty much my pedal board. Like I said, a couple of things are through an effects loop. Most of them are just inline. Some of them have true bypass switches, some of them don't. I like the ones that have true bypass switches, especially on the front end, by the amps, because it generally you get exactly what the amp is giving you, and no coloration. Like I said, except for the wah-wah pedal, which I do like the high-end loss that it gives you.